What's up, guys? It's Ty with H24 Outdoors. Today I've got a new episode of Ty.Won on, and I'd like to say I'm sorry we did not get to do an episode last week because I was away at a fishing tournament, but I'm back. I've got another one geared towards Greer's Ferry, and we had a comment on the last video, and they asked if we could give kind of the general consensus as to where these baits are kind of targeted for. So if you know Greer's Ferry, it's divided into two halves, and there's a little chute called the Narrows in the middle of it. And basically the top half is kind of your more muddier water. It's got more like largemouth fishing and bigger spots up there. And on the south lower end is closer to the dam. And the closer to the dam you get, the clearer the water gets. But pretty much once you get past that chute, it's pretty clear water for that most bottom half. And what I like to do is go out there on that south end of the lake and go after smallmouth. And these baits right here are generally targeted towards smallmouth. If you go out there, you're gonna run into some pretty good largemouth down there, not as big as if you were to run up north, but this is all geared towards smallmouth, clear water fishing. Right now the lake's about 2 feet high, so there's some bushes in the water, some buckbrush, and those smallmouth are doing their thing right now. The fishing is good. It's a great time to get out there. If you're learning how to kayak fish, this is a great time to get out to Greer's Ferry specifically. There's a lot of ramps, the fish are biting, and you can kind of tell what you need to get on your kayak if you're new, and you can get a feel for it. So without further ado, I'm gonna get into these baits for you guys. Alright, so right now those smallmouth are pretty heavily pushed up in, not necessarily in, but, well, they're in the bushes, but you're kind of going to be focused on casting these towards kind of the outside of the bushes. And to get it started with, I have got a Zoom lizard right here. This color is watermelon seed. And this bait right here, I know I just said about the bushes, but this is going to be a great bait to drag on a Carolina rig around main lake points, because there's still fish that kind of jump around, and sometimes during the day they'll like to push out to those points whenever that water gets clear, and especially if it's sunny, because it just makes them feel more secure if they're able to pull back. And that Carolina rig, you know, just having it kind of free falling behind that weight is a great presentation to trigger those smallmouth. Go crazy over Carolina rig out there. And so yeah, that first that lizard is going to be the number one. At the number two, this is the Z-Man Trick Shots. That has Goby Bryant is the color on that. And starting off kind of with like a finesse bait, I guess you could say. I'm gonna drop shot that and drop shot it same places as Carolina rigs, but you can also get away with throwing that around the front end of those bushes and just kind of let it sit there, let the worms soak, kind of sit it stationary, and you're gonna trigger those fish that are harder to bite. And like I said, on those sunny days, that's gonna be a big help, having that drop shot to help you out. The next bait I've got here is a 6 Sense Bambusa, and this bait is a phenomenal bait. I was actually just using it last week in a tournament I had, and I wacky rigged it in that tournament, but for the purposes of this video, I'm actually going to throw this on a shaky head. It's got the, I'll show you guys here. It's got the little slimmed off tail here at the end, and that tail just goes crazy when you throw it on a shaky head and can trigger a reaction out of some fish. And I'm gonna try to fish that shaky head a little bit faster than you normally would. When you think of fishing a finesse bait, you're kind of thinking of fishing it slower, but that shaky head right there, I'm gonna try to burn it as far as finesse fishing goes. And that leads me into my next bait right here, and that is a fluke. And this color is the white pearl, and this fluke right here, you're just gonna throw it weightless or maybe with a small well, not small, but a lighter belly weighted swim bait hook, and burn that thing all the way back in the bushes. Make sure it's weedless and just work it through those bushes, and those smallmouth will go crazy over a fluke, especially this time of the year. They like those white colors, but don't be afraid to throw that fluke in some weird colors, because I know like they'll go after a pink fluke. I know it sounds crazy, but a pink fluke kills out there this time of the year. I like to stick to the white and maybe like a smoke color where it's got that black top. And so yeah, that fluke is going to be great. And the last bait I've got is the Bass Mafia Dangerous Swim Bait. That color is albino. This is the 6-inch version of the bait. I think we've got, no, we got all the 6 inches here. And basically this bait is geared towards smallmouth. And I know it seems like a lot, especially if you're not a huge smallmouth fisherman, but smallmouth are they're the most aggressive species of bass. And this swim bait right here is going to do a great job at kind of culling out those smaller fish. So let's say you're fishing a tournament out there. Everybody gets about 8.5 pounds, 9 pounds, and everybody can get that. But what's going to separate you is getting those bigger smallmouth to bite. And right now, a bigger swim bait is the way to do it. I know the 6-inch whale is also going to be a great way. I haven't got to throw this dangerous swim bait, but it looks like that Mega Bass Mag Draft. And so I'm super excited. I'm going to throw one probably this weekend. And yeah, this is just going to separate those bigger fish from your average 1.5, 1 pound smallmouth that you got out there. So yeah, that's going to be the 5th and final bait. All right, guys, I just want to come on here and say thank you so much for watching. If you have a lake, as always, if you have a lake that you want featured, comment it down below and I'll try to make a video on it as soon as I can. Right now, it's a great time to get out, and if you're really, I'm serious, if you're wanting to learn how to fish out of a kayak, right now on Greer's Ferry is the best time to do it. You're going to be able to catch a lot of fish. They might not be the biggest fish, but you're going to have a blast. I was out there the other day for about 3 hours and ended up catching like 12 fish, all smallmouth. Those smallmouth fight really good, so it can help you really get a feel for your kayak especially. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. And as always, guys, peace.